Hey, this is Leon Poe, man. You listening to Causeway Street Podcast.
What's up, y'all? This is Kenny Anderson. Y'all listen to the Causeway Street Podcast.
For all you new listeners out there, I'm your host, Josue Pavone. I'm joined as usual by my two co-hosts.
I'm Sean Dutra. What's up? So
yeah,
like
talk
long
about
walks
yourself.
on the bee.
There you go. Joel Pavone. What up?
I'm a Pisces. The most romantic.
It leads off with that.
The most romantic sign in all the zodiac.
Oh,
If you couldn't tell by my voice already.
oh,
Sexy.
I'm the producer of this ensemble that we call Causeway Street. In case you missed it.
Hey, Bill Walton here, Celtics 1986. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Yeah, come here for nothing but the truth. This is where dreams come true. Thank you, Boston, for my life.
where are we going?
You guys are such homers.
It's your boy Terry Rozier. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Now listen to my boys Joe, Sway, Joel, and Sean.
I'm not going to I have this platform to let one individual, no matter the power, ever use sport as a platform to divide us. And when you don't talk about sports, they try to divide us from that side as well. And the one thing that I can say and just think about is how can we personally, throughout everything that guy is doing, no matter if you voted for him or not, you may have made a mistake, and that's okay. If you voted for him, done things for my kids and realized I shouldn't have gave my daughter that many damn Skittles. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. She won't go to sleep now. Can we sit up here and say that I'm trying to make a difference? I can look myself in the mirror and say that I want the best for the American people. No matter the skin color, no matter the race, no matter how tall or athletic you are or whatever the case may be, can we sit up here and say that we are trying to make a difference?
All right. Back with another edition of the Causeway Street Podcast with your favorite Celtics podcast hosts, Josue Pavone, Sean Dutra,
Hello.
Joel Pavone, and of course, we're days away from the NBA preseason, so Zach Peliquin decided to finally stop by and check out our brand new studio, man. What's up, Zach?
Look who stumbled on his way in, huh?
It's been too long.
I mean, we're like 2 months worth of rent since we've been here, and Zach finally gets to check out the place.
Pitched in at all yet.
I think the last time we talked to Zach was like NBA Finals or a little bit after that.
He's pitched in. He's just been over the phone.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that is true. All right. Well,
the Kyrie trade and all that.
Right. Yeah, because
The
everyone
last episode of the Isaiah.
everyone had so much to say. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, it hasn't been that long, but it feels like it's been that long because I haven't seen you in a while. I think that's the difference. I guess.
There you go.
This is going to be the Western Conference edition of the season preview here at Causeway Street. The Celtics had their media day this week. We'll talk a little bit about that. But first things first, guys, we have to start this podcast with the trade that went down last week. A week and a half before the preseason, Carmelo Anthony finally gets dealt out of New York.
Carmelo's like, hey, guys, don't forget about me.
Yeah, right. Come on. There's no way I can go into training camp in New York again. I got to get a new uniform somewhere. And I love how they did it right before media day, too. Like, no, he cannot see New York media because they're going to kill him. Trade him now before he has to face those guys.
Now's the time where you settle for a second-round pick.
Yeah, exactly. You settle for a second-round pick. Inez Cantor, fuck it. Yeah, bring him on. Yeah, sure.
Who else you got?
Yeah, any expiring deal to make the contracts match, do it.
McBuckets? Oh, throw it.
New York's gonna love him. Spike Lee will fall in love with him. I wonder how many games Spike Lee's gonna go to this year. Anyways, so Oklahoma City now has Carmelo Anthony alongside, of course, Paul George and Mr. MVP Russell Westbrook. Let's get right into it, guys. How good are the Oklahoma City Thunder now?
Are they so much better that they have Carmelo Anthony now?
That's my question.
I don't know. The Western Conference is deep. You have 3 superstars, 2.5 superstars, whatever. Great. But who the hell else is going to play meaningful minutes on that team, man?
Who
else is going to play meaningful minutes on that team?
If you look at the top tier teams in the Western Conference, I mean, they're not really that deep.
They have role players, though.
Right. Okay, they have role players, but when you say deep, I consider deep like, they can go 9 or 10 men deep.
No,
most of the teams in the Western Conference go, 8 or 9 guys?
Well, according to
7 or 8 guys.
According to the hoodie Melo, right? Because he decided he wanted to wear his hoodie during media day while everyone else was, wearing regular clothes. Yeah,
Melo looked like that guy in the sidelines that's always talking trash on the pickup games. He plays one game, he gets tired, and he just sits around just trashing on everyone that's played in like 3 or 4 games, pickup games. And then when people are like, "Yo, why don't you get on here?" No, I'm good, man. I don't want to run it back. I'm good. I'm done playing.
So according to that guy, he says that Steven Adams is a beast.
Sure. Steven Adams is a beast. He's like the 10th best center in the NBA.
Hey, dude, you got to stroke that ego, man. You got to make friends in Oklahoma City.
The team, Oklahoma City will be good, but they're still in my opinion, they marginally got better.
Patrick Patterson?
Zach, let me hear your take on
Patrick
this.
Patterson, bro.
Let's hear like an X's and O's type of take from Zach here, because if we want to break it down from a certain angle, you could say that all 3 of these guys are quote unquote ball heavy. What is it? What do they call it?
Ball dominant.
Ball dominant. Yeah. Is that safe to say? Is that going to work with all 3 of these guys on the same squad?
I think it can. I think, Melo is a guy that, for the last several years we've been saying, well, if he gets out of New York, can he do something? Can he be the Melo that we see on the Olympic team? Can he be the guy where, he can maybe not be someone who needs the ball in his hands to be able to give a team something? And I think this is the first opportunity he's had maybe in his career where he's not going to be the number 1 guy getting that ball.
Right.
He's got or the number 2.
Or I don't know. I mean,
he's not the number 2 player on the team, bro. Paul George is definitely going to...
Hold on.
He's the number 3 on this team.
Hold on.
Number 3. Yes.
Hold on. But the better question is, does he know that?
Does he know that? Anybody tell him?
That's the thing.
Someone joked about him coming off the bench, and he almost fell out of his chair.
Anybody sit him down? He's like, "Oh man, yeah, I can't wait to play next Russell Westbrook."
Melo, listen, come here for a second.
Just so you know,
before this trade goes down, let me talk to you for a second.
You're going to be the 3rd option.
Well, even still, though, I mean, when he's been surrounded by talent, he's done well. When he's been surrounded by talent, he's done well.
Yeah, but that's funny though, because you bring up a great point. He's never even been anywhere near that kind of scenario where he's like not the number 1 option. You're right, but this is the first time he actually has this type of talent next to him, though.
Yep.
So, when is the last time we've seen that from Melo? Not in the NBA, but what was it? Team USA, right?
Right. So
that's the best we've seen from Melo throughout his career.
Oklahoma City's basically banking on.
He was like the number 1 option on Team USA.
Yeah, they gave him the most shots. Yeah. Oklahoma City Thunder's the most points basically banking on Carmelo Anthony changing everything about his game. About his game to make this trade. You need talent. I get it in the NBA. The more talent, the better. The better you can figure it out. But some guys just like he
like out of everyone, he's got to change the most. He's
right.
got to want. He has to be the one to sacrifice the most.
That's fair.
And he already said he's willing to play the 4. Well, he really has no choice if he wants to be in the starting lineup.
Yeah. Well, in today's NBA though, that's not a stretch. That's not a big deal.
But he said that he was going to be a rebounder, which I kind of chuckled at that.
Well, he's gonna say what he has to say.
Let's even think about big
threes. This is like his last chance to actually compete for a title. So I see Melo being compliant and saying, "Look, whatever it takes, whatever I have to do, I'm willing to do it because this is it." I just came from New York. I wasn't even thinking about the playoffs. Now I'm in a situation where I can actually get to the Western Conference Finals.
Sure. So he probably said, "Yeah, I'm cool being the third man. I'm cool with that." But I don't think he understands. Chris Bosh went from a bona fide all-star best player on the team to
don't say role player.
No, but definitely took a back seat.
Yeah.
Al Horford takes a back seat. You look at
that happens everywhere.
Klay Thompson had to take a back seat.
Right. Klay Thompson, but his touches went down last year.
But those guys you just mentioned, what did they become later on in their careers? They became spot up shooters.
Right.
Which is not it's not a bad thing for Carmelo.
But I don't know if he can be that guy.
I just think it's going to see you're going to have.
You know what? That's a great way. That's a great point. Yeah, you're right because now he sort of has to be that guy.
He has to just be a spot up shooter.
He doesn't have to be, but in these scenarios,
not a spot up shooter, but someone that's
catch
open in the corner,
catch and shoot, and he's not used to that. You just mentioned Chris Bosh. That's pretty much what he became in Miami, right?
Right.
Ray Allen, I mentioned him.
Right.
That's Ray Allen was already doing that. Klay Thompson, I mean, these guys who have been in similar situations of what Melo's about to go through, they had to take that role of being the catch and shoot guy. They couldn't put the ball on the floor like they were accustomed to before, they became a member of a big three.
It's great that they added talent though, because I mean, they were really probably banking on like a Josh Hustis to pick up the slack, or maybe a Dakari Johnson. All these players that are going to be on the Thunder roster. Let's think about. Don't worry, Isaiah Cannon. They signed Isaiah Cannon, dude, so they're good. They're good.
And they got Sabonis.
Oh, Markel Brown and Bryce Alford really going to be good off the bench. Sabonis is not there no more, man. Sabonis is gone.
He's gone.
Oladipo's gone. Kanter's gone.
Oladipo. Yes, they did trade Sabonis. I forgot.
Don't worry, they got Norris Cole though. So I mean, really, they go deep. The Thunder go deep. I mean,
they got Roberson.
Don't be one of those guys. Don't be one of those guys.
Hey, talk about it. He was like the best defensive player in the NBA. You didn't know that?
Don't be one of those guys. Roberson is a liability.
That's true. I mean, he's no Marcus Morris, right?
Not even close to Marcus Morris. If you had Marcus Morris on this roster,
get out of here, man.
Not even Avery Bradley, bro.
You are
not even Avery Bradley.
No. You are so like Marcus Morris, like one of the best defenders in the NBA now because he's a Celtic.
I'm not saying he's the best defender in the NBA. I'm just saying he defends.
You just got so mad that I compared
LeBron.
Marcus Morris to Roberson.
Technically, he defends LeBron the best out of anybody in the NBA.
Yeah, we'll see how that works.
Technically.
I'm
just saying.
So where does this team stack against the rest of the teams in the West? Not including Golden State.
My bad, guys. I got the sniffles today, too, so don't mind me.
What, are you getting sick on us? It's only been like 85 degrees this whole week.
Yeah, this weather's fucked me up, man.
What was wrong with you?
Fucked me up.
Yeah, so where do they rank against the San Antonio Spurs, the Houston Rockets? I mean, of course, they got better, too, during the offseason.
Nothing changes. They're still exactly where they were. I'll still take
the bottom of the Western Conference playoff picture?
No, not last year, where they would have been without Carmelo. I think you're going to see the Rockets are still better, the Spurs are still better, the Warriors are still better. They're going to be right there, like we said before. I mean, because they still got Russell Westbrook, they still got Paul George. They're going to be battling for that 4 spot. Maybe can contend for the 3 spot, but I don't see it. I don't think this trade really shakes anything up except Carmelo's a big name player. That's it.
Zach, what do you think?
I mean, in a league where teams literally just build around big name players.
Well, no, but
it's just a big name player.
But I mean,
it's just
like
another one.
just a name. He's now a name. You know what I mean? He's
I don't think he's a top 25
talent,
guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
He didn't make my
though.
list last year.
You know what I mean? Though he's not a Paul George. He's not a Chris Paul. He's definitely out of big name players that moved this offseason. He's definitely on the bottom of the list.
He'll put up 16, 17. Is that fair to say?
Fair, fine.
He's like right around Isaiah Thomas level, something like that.
So then, let's think about this.
Wait, what?
Let's think about this.
Throw that in there, Zach.
Yeah,
like Isaiah and Carmelo are.
Do you think it's fair to say you're probably average? Because Westbrook will put up 30. Paul George will put up around 20, 25. Let's even say you put him at 55 at that point. You put Carmelo's, I don't know. Let's even say he gets 20 points a game. Where the hell else are you getting points on this team? Where are you getting points on this team?
Well, considering nobody else is going to shoot, then
right. So those 3 players are going to have to average like 90 points a game. Then you're gonna get 5 from Steve, right? But
I think if my math is right, that'd be they win a lot of games if they had that happening.
All right, so if you have them going 4th, which obviously sometimes doesn't mean much going into the playoffs, you don't see them going to the Western Conference Finals or even having a chance? Do you think they?
I think they do. I think they're right in that mix.
You can't forget the fact they have the MVP. I mean, Russell Westbrook now finally has legitimate help ever since Kevin Durant left.
Who was his number 2 last year?
Yeah.
Victor Oladipo.
Yeah. He made the playoffs with that team.
Right, because Russell Westbrook's a beast. I mean, the only way that's why I say.
That's what I'm saying. You
that's
can't
why I said
sleep on Westbrook, and he finally has some help. So, like, just, 30 points along with 1 All-Star and another
borderline All-Star.
Borderline
so
All-Star.
Let's be honest. Melo's not making the All-Star team in the West.
But
absolutely no way.
No, I get that. But my point is that if Westbrook was able to bring this team to the playoffs, or that team last year,
right.
I don't know. These guys could be the ones that get them over the hump and put them in the Western Conference Finals. Not saying they have a chance to even touch Golden State.
No.
But I think
the Paul George edition.
You could put them in that conversation.
The Paul George edition, to me, made the Oklahoma City Thunder a contender. It did. So they're right up there with the top 4 teams in the West. I'm not sleeping on the Thunder. I'm not hating on the Thunder, even though it sounds like I am, but I just don't think that Carmelo Anthony does really anything to move the needle. Like, maybe it's another big name. You'll sell more tickets, great. Sell more jerseys, great.
Or maybe 5 years ago it would have been a bigger deal.
I just think like it's basically like the Bulls adding Dwayne Wade 2 years ago. It's like, nice, you got Dwayne. It's like, good, but come on.
He's a little better than
Come on.
Wade. Are they neck and neck?
No, now Melo, Wade is falling off, but I think
Wade's hurting.
Anthony's going to hit that spot pretty soon. Like
Okay.
we were like,
I was gonna say he's not quite there, but yeah, they're not neck and neck anymore.
no,
I mean they're not neck and neck. They're not neck and neck.
Now I will
I don't
say
know
that
why I said anymore.
They're not neck and neck.
I will say this: if Melo moved to the Cavs or stayed in the Eastern Conference, I think we're having a completely different discussion right now. Because,
But isn't Melo motivated this year?
well, because he's not in New York.
Yeah,
Ah.
just that alone.
Maybe,
I
Just
think
that
maybe,
alone.
but you're banking on a lot.
I'm with Joel. This is the
felt
chance of his career to actually be on a winning team
When there was
for the
rumors-
first time in a long time.
When there was rumors flowing that the Celtics possibly could be looking to add Melo, at first I was like, well, no, that'd be a dumb idea. But I was like, wait, if they're able to pull that off, maybe he's motivated enough that in what year is this is for him? 12th, 13th year?
Yeah, it came in 03.
Yeah.
32.
14th year, 15th year?
3. Yeah. No, yeah.
Something like that,
right?
All I'm saying
That he would be motivated to actually do what he's supposed to do as a player to win a championship or compete for one at least.
Carmelo Anthony in the Western Conference, I don't think it's a lot different than Carmelo Anthony in the Eastern Conference.
Well, Sean, I'm glad you brought that up because, of course, news broke from Carmelo Anthony, of all people.
Oh shit!
That the Cleveland Cavaliers, it was pretty much a done deal, according to Carmelo Anthony, that him and Paul George were going to be traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, but at the last second, the trade fell through. Thoughts?
Who was the third team in that? Was the Celtics in there or?
No.
I mean, I feel like there was a third team if both of those teams are going to move.
Well, there was the report
Both those
from Denver. I remember on draft night when.
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, the Denver trade. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if the New York deal would have been straight
Might have
up with Cleveland.
Yeah, it might have been two separate deals.
Yeah, it would have been two separate deals, but both of those deals were supposed to go down on the same night.
That would have changed
Why
everything.
would Cleveland not do that? I don't understand what.
Because,
Maybe because they didn't have a GM, really.
This is before he left, wasn't it?
Was this before the Kyrie Irving thing, though?
This was.
Yeah, this is well before. This is according to Melo. This was draft night that they were planning on flying to Cleveland and meeting the team.
So salary wise, think about that. What would they have had to have done in order to be able to make that deal?
Love's
gone.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Thompson's probably gone
If they can find someone to take him.
Well,
I'd be really anxious.
Those two big deals.
Yeah, I'd be anxious to see.
You have to get rid of that. What 18, 17 million?
Or was Kyrie part of those? And they knew that Kyrie wanted to leave at that point in time.
Oh,
Yeah, Kyrie probably would have been dished out.
And that's why the whole entire
there's probably
Knicks
a ton of
thing
moving
was
parts.
a part of the teams that he wanted to go to. See,
Right.
it's all coming together.
Boom. By the way, maybe Carmelo.
I knew we brought Zach here for a reason.
maybe Carmelo just really wanted to play with Terrence Ferguson on the Oklahoma
Terry?
City Thunder.
You watch out for Terry this year.
Terrence Ferguson. Going to be getting
What,
minutes.
pos-
on the
what position do you play? Where is he from?
guard.
He's a G? He's a
he
G.
just plays guard.
Or maybe Kyrie didn't want to go to Indiana. Who knows? But Cleveland backed out, and now those two are members of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
As well as Rashawn Thomas. Going to be getting minutes on the Thunder.
Who are these people?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's like reading a fucking high school yearbook right now,
A
dude.
G League roster.
Oh, remember Rashawn, dude? Rashawn Thomas.
That team could top the Warriors. Am I wrong?
What team?
This hypothetical situation, if it went down.
Depends. Are you keeping Kyrie? If you keep Kyrie, then yeah, obviously. Yeah.
No. This is obviously assuming Kyrie's not there anymore. No?
Then
No.
Because they don't have a point guard?
No, they'd probably be number one team in the East.
You still have D Rose. D Rose would get in there. You
Okay.
got Paul George.
Yeah, this isn't that's
Carmelo Anthony.
I don't know.
You'd have a backcourt, theoretically. Well, maybe not.
Yeah,
You'd have a backcourt of D Wade and Derrick
A little
Rose.
handicap. I don't know. That's a little bit.
like you have basically like
Get the bandaging out now.
you have the
Cast
Eastern
this man.
the Eastern Conference starting All-Star lineup of 2010.
Well, look at their backcourt right now. They're not so spry at the moment.
2011.
Between Isaiah Thomas and Dwayne Wade, it's not such a spry
that's true.
backcourt.
Well, I mean, if that trade went down before the draft, obviously there's no details of what pieces were moving, but maybe the Cavs GM doesn't get fired. Maybe Kyrie doesn't demand a trade.
Maybe Kyrie's not a Celtic.
Kyrie's
That's why I said he doesn't demand a trade.
Kyrie's
I
definitely
know.
not a Celtic.
The world works in strange ways. Well, so wait,
Isaiah's still
answer
on
me
the
this
team?
though. So you're saying that it would be so much of a different deal if you have LeBron James with Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. That's great. both Russell Westbrook.
Right. You're in the same. No, you're in the same boat. I think that's why.
All right. No, I'm just trying to piece it together.
I think you're a benefit because you're in the Eastern Conference, so you're probably the number one in the Eastern Conference.
Well, that's when those complimentary players that Sean is,
Who? Well, you do have J.R.
Sean's bringing up in Oklahoma City that have no idea who they are. I mean, you still have
Rashawn is just fine. Don't worry about it.
Kyle Korver. You have D Rose as like a fifth option. You got who am I forgetting? Who else did they sign? I don't want to say Jeff Green, but who else? I mean, you have other guys that could fill in the blanks.
Yeah. I mean, you would have
Jeremy Grant. They got him back in one of the deals.
You would have a little bit of
Nick Collison. He's still kicking around.
Kyle Singler's on that team too. So there you go. I mean,
3-ball.
Yeah, Kyle Singler's probably going to get run this year.
Raymond Felton.
Come on,
Raymond Felton.
I feel like the Thunder's like that fantasy team where you like. Trade all of your good players.
Yes.
And then you got like NBA 3 studs. And then you're like, well, let me just pick up Rashawn Towns. I can't forget the guy's name already. Rashawn Johnson.
Rash.
He's rated a 54, but I'll start him at my point guard.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I got these three. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that hypothetical team, if I really think LeBron probably was like, no, I'd rather play with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving than play with Paul George. And I mean, Paul George is obviously an upgrade, I think, over Kyrie. And would you take Paul George over Kyrie Irving? All right, it's a toss-up, right? So it's a toss-up.
I'm going to say no because we've seen them win a championship together. So
right, and I'm going to take Kevin Love. And plus, so you got Paul George, LeBron James, and Carmelo Anthony, all wings, all on the same team, all trying to play the same position. Exactly. How's that going to work? It's talent, yeah, but how's that going to work?
Ball dominant.
Derrick Rose is trying to hog the ball as a point guard too.
No, he's the Rondo in that situation, man. Just dish him out. Dish it out.
Sure.
Dish it out and don't tweak your knee or your ankle, whatever.
Until his legs fall off.
Just set people up. I don't know. Who knows?
All right, but let's talk about the Western Conference. Let's break it down.
I mean, I think we did. Besides Houston. Houston's always in the mix.
We've talked
because
about
they have Chris Paul.
We've talked about just the shitty Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oh, now they're shitty. Now they're shitty. You just called them a top 4 team. Now they're shitty.
I'm talking about their bad players.
Role players.
They're not. No. Oklahoma City Thunder has 3 superstars and bad players.
Were you jumping up and down when the Celtics signed Eddie House in 07?
Eddie House, at least. You knew who to...
Eddie House was not Eddie House. He was not even a household name before he came to Boston.
I understand he's not a household name.
He was good, but he wasn't like a knockdown 3-point shooter.
Exactly the same role he had with the Celtics.
Yeah, but
2 years in Phoenix.
The numbers though, his numbers shot up in Boston.
But I get that. I get that though. But like, we're avid NBA watchers, so like we knew. Oh, I know who Eddie House is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's go here again.
But you didn't anticipate that kind of season out of him.
Oh, Samaj Christone. You know who he is?
It's Eddie House, bro.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. So
all right, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's role players. There's guys that'll exceed as role players.
Sean, you're probably reading like the 20-man preseason roster. That's why you're just picking the most unfamiliar name you can find.
You want me to bang down the list real quick?
No.
You tell me how many people you know.
Oklahoma City now.
You tell me people you know.
No, you want to talk Western Conference though?
Yeah, this is Western Conference preview show. We got to.
No. So I said in our, we text quite a bit for anyone who doesn't know that. Me and Joe.
In case you missed it.
We text a lot.
We all got unlimited plans.
When we're not podcasting.
And the whole conversation was surrounding, how much better did OKC get? And, we're reading off names right now for OKC. And it kept on being, okay, well, San Antonio. Okay, Houston. Go look at those rosters and you tell me that they're that much better. The Houston roster is not that good.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
It's really not that good.
Well, they give up a whole lot to get Chris Paul. So
who's their big 3 right now?
I agree with you with Houston, right? Because outside of Chris Paul and James Harden, who are both probably in the whole league the most ball dominant players, right?
Missing the point. Huge on this.
On what?
Huge on this.
Well, let him finish.
Go ahead.
All right. Outside of those 2, okay, Eric Gordon, Trevor Ariza,
Ryan Anderson.
Those are 3
role players.
Those are 3 role players that are great shooters.
I'm sorry, right? I take Luke Mahabamute. I take Nene. You still got what's his name?
Well, there you go. You just named the rotation. Like
who's the big center? Who's the big center?
All the top teams in the
Clint
NBA,
Capella?
they have a 7-8 man rotation. Like
no,
that's it. That's the rotation.
But I get that. But like when your 4 through 8 are scrubs, you're gonna have a problem. Like Houston, maybe they don't have that third superstar, but they still have solid role players. Proven scorers, defenders. They have a team. Like, that's my big fear about OKC is they got 3 people, but then they have nothing else.
Great players make other players better, though. I the names that you named out of OKC, I guarantee you by the end of the year, we're talking about 2 or 3 of them saying, well, I got a little better than I thought I was, or at least I know what his name is now. Same thing with San Antonio. Every year. Who's Danny Green until, 4 or 5 years ago when he just came out of nowhere? What was the kid last year in the playoffs?
At least you knew who he was from UNC.
Patty Mills?
Nah, Patty Mills is kind of...
They got PJ Tucker down in Houston.
The kid? What are you talking about,
They got
Anderson?
role players.
Yeah, Anderson.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, who's I think he was UCLA or something like that. So, you kind of knew him, but these weren't guys that were they weren't expecting...
San Antonio has something
first round
that
picks
no
at
one else
least.
has,
First round picks.
Well, that's the conversation
you
there.
got Popovich who got the most out of Manu Ginobili, who single-handedly shut down James Harden, James Harden didn't even show up to play in Game 7.
Right.
Which is still a head scratcher.
Well, exactly. But that's pop. That's the power of pop. I like to call it.
The POP?
The POP.
Yeah, I mean,
as long as Popovich is still in San Antonio and they have players that no one really hears about until you see them in the playoffs, you're like, oh, well, that's why Pop has been so successful in the last 20 years.
Well, yeah, because he always has that guy that just comes out of nowhere. I mean, hey, going into this season, I really like the second year guy. What's his name? DeJounte Murray.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe this is the year he has a Danny Green type season, or I don't know. Right, in the postseason, he goes off like Patty Mills did that one time in the postseason. I mean, he always has those wild cards that come out and surprise everyone when it matters most.
When Parker went down, Patty Mills took him to the Western Conference Finals.
Sure. The difference is, they had their big 3, pretty solidified big 3. And then you had solid role players, and then it was a bonus to get those guys coming out of nowhere, just contributing, right?
Yeah, but contributing at a high level.
Still got you to the Western Conference Finals.
Sure. I don't know. I truthfully think everyone's sleeping on Houston. I actually really like the Houston.
So you think
team.
Houston the second after the Warriors?
Yeah, I take them over the Spurs.
Okay.
And I think Houston's probably...
I'm ready to do that.
Houston's probably
one injury.
On
those two on Paul, to me, CP3 and Harden. I don't know how those two are gonna work together.
See, I think I said this before, but I think on any other team, for any other coach, it'd be a problem. But you get the most shots in the league, you get the most possessions in the league under D'Antoni, it's going to be fine. It's going to be perfectly fine. And plus, Chris Paul will distribute, man. He's fine with distributing.
You sure? Or Harden led the league in assists last year?
Sure. So, I mean, we ever see Chris Paul play off the ball? Nope. But, I mean, we'll see. Maybe he's playing a little bit of that. You don't know, man. I mean... Has he won anything playing on ball all the time? Nope. But hey, maybe you never know.
Yeah, that's Harden.
That's what I'm saying.
Better question: how many games does he play this regular season?
Paul? Yeah. I mean, why is he injured?
No, because he
just never. Yeah,
he's always out 20 to 30 games every year.
Yeah. Well, he's
an old man.
I mean, we can easily say for all these top 4 teams, they'd be like, "Oh, well, as long as they're ready for the playoffs,
right?"
It's anybody's game, right?
So let's even say, injuries aside, your top 4 right now, rank them. In the Western Conference.
I think they're going to be the same as last week, but we can listen to what Zach has to say on that since you weren't here last week.
I don't remember last week, so let's be honest.
We all did. Golden State, far and away, number 1. I don't think it's close. They're going to need an injury to fall off. 2, I don't know.
They'll still be good.
Yeah, even with 1 injury, they're going to be all right. 2, I don't know. It's tough. I really like what OKC did here. I think it's a coin flip between them and San Antonio because I don't think San Antonio has the star power. And this is a star-driven league. So I'm going to go OKC. And then I'll go San Antonio 3 and then wrap it up with Houston in 4.
What did I say last week?
You said...
Well, this is before the Melo trade, but I don't know if it makes a difference.
This was like literally the day before the Melo trade. But
yeah, we have the best timing with this.
You said the Warriors, and then you
this is the podcast I recorded
San Antonio
24 hours before the IT trade.
You had San Antonio, and then you said Houston at 3.
Okay,
and then you said OKC at 4.
Okay,
and then you said Mini at 5.
All right, I'm switching Houston and San Antonio, but the rest are the same.
So Houston now is 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
They didn't have to do anything for that either.
No, they didn't. No. Carmelo makes Houston better somehow. Carmelo makes Houston better.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just fucking science, bro. Science.
D'Antoni science, huh?
D'Antoni science.
D'Antoni science. Sway?
Stirring up the pot.
All right, Golden State number 1. I'm gonna go with San Antonio.
Okay.
I'll go with San Antonio. Number 3, I'm gonna take. I think OKC's gonna get number 3, man. I think OKC's gonna be number 3. OKC number 3, and number 4, Houston, and at a close number 5. Look out for Minnesota. I think Minnesota's gonna be a very.
I had the same list, but
very close, neck and neck, 4 and 5. They may even swap by the end of the regular season.
I have the same, but swap with Mini and OK.
Yeah, Mini over.
You have Mini
Houston.
No, I have Mini at 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if
Those
there
young
was
pups getting out there.
if there's a team
Jimmy
to
Butler,
knock off,
Jamal Crawford.
I love that team for like 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
Tibbs, baby. He gets them playing defense. That's going to be a really tough team.
Cat,
I love Cat.
with a
Stud.
actually with a playoff contender of a roster.
It's actually sounding like a Anchorman line. I love Cat.
I love Cat.
Do you really love Cat? Or
I love Lamb.
now you're just saying things.
Now you're just saying things that are in the room, and saying you love them.
So yeah.
But then again, I don't know.
I think it's still the same.
reason
it's the same top 4 or 5 right there.
Yeah, no, it's the same, but the order is just so hard to determine because I just see San Antonio towards the final stretch of the regular season just resting their guys, playing it safe, and then that may bump them down to 3 or 4. I mean, Popovich doesn't really keep his eye on the standing. He's thinking about the playoffs. He's thinking about people being healthy. He's thinking about everyone being geared up for the run.
So who has the best chance of knocking off Golden State?
See, that's the thing. That's what I mean by that.
That's a different question, right?
Yeah, like the fourth seed could be the one that meets them in the Western Conference Finals, or it could be the third. I mean, that's how competitive the Western Conference is going to be.
Let's match them up. Match them up. Team, let's say Eastern
do,
Western Conference. Western Conference Finals. That's it.
Jeez,
who has the best chance of beating the Warriors? Because I think we all agree like these teams are gearing up to beat the Warriors. Yeah. Who did the best job?
OKC, and here's why. In those games.
Oh, that's why.
Listen. In those games, you put this man in a scenario where he's down by, I don't know, let's say 12, 13. If there's one guy that can that can put a team on his back and get him out of that hole, it's Russell Westbrook.
That's true.
And now he has someone to defer to in Paul George. Whatever you get out of Carmelo in this scenario is a bonus.
Yeah.
Carmelo's not going to be ISO, game-winning shot from Melo like he's used to. No, now you have Russell Westbrook making those shots. I'm not saying that they're gonna, it's gonna be like a 7-game series, but don't be surprised if Russell Westbrook puts the team on his back and beats Golden State a couple of times in a 7-game series.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
Against Durant, under the the lights, OKC, the diehard fans screaming at Durant. Oh man, I mean, just that series alone would be the most entertaining series probably in the whole finals. I mean, the whole playoffs besides the finals.
You think about those matchups too on the floor. That is a fun series to think of. You got Steph and Westbrook. Robertson probably slots over and takes over Thompson. So that's a pretty good defense to offense matchup. Then you got PG on KD. That would be a fun one. And then you're talking Melo on Draymond.
I can just see it now.
I'll take that series. Let's get that to happen. Oh, yeah.
Furniture being moved.
I mean, that could be. If OKC falls into the 4th spot, man, that could be a 2nd-round matchup right there.
That would be worth it.
Yeah, you're right. It may not even happen in the Western Conference Finals, and it could be the most entertaining one.
Yeah, seeding plays a big part, but you brought up coaches resting players. I mean, the NBA is going to crack down on that this year, so that could play a role.
That's true. I mean, they did the schedule much different this year.
Yeah,
I mean,
a
couple weeks.
They sure did.
Couple more weeks.
Yep.
And based on last year, based on the rosters last year.
Fuck you, Sean. This is true.
Yeah. Agree.
Based on the rosters last year, if San Antonio is healthy, that's a more competitive series between Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, man, we missed out.
You know what I mean?
Last postseason when Kawhi went down, we really missed out.
Yeah, and this year, they added Rudy Gay. I think that's an underrated signing.
That is an underrated signing, especially on the pop. Yeah.
All right, to get to your first little
firepower.
That purr you just did, the first one. What's wrong with Kawhi Leonard? What's wrong with
nothing's wrong with Kawhi Leonard?
With thinking he can be that guy to take over games.
How close was that game when he went out?
They were up by 20.
Who was?
San Antonio.
Were they?
Yes.
I thought it was the other way around. I'm sorry.
No, they're up by 20.
I didn't even drink that much tonight.
Take that noise back.
What he did in those first couple of rounds.
Right.
What? Kawhi was arguably the MVP of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's how good he was.
He was a great player in the playoffs, way.
Stop doing that. Stop that right now.
It's just like the freaking bachelor party when you're pissing off. He's like, you know what, Sean? Fuck you, man. Fucking Dustin. Who's getting married this weekend? Anyways. I'm dying to see that matchup. Whether it's Western Conference Finals, second round, easily the most entertaining. It's going to be the most entertaining game in the regular season. I mean, you can't make this shit up, man. This NBA season is just whatever. It's like there's just plot lines of like the best, most entertaining soap opera for basketball fans.
Yep. However it shakes out is going to be the Western Conference Finals. Western Conference playoffs is going to be must watch. I mean, even if you think about like Houston Clippers first round series. Right. Like a 3-6 matchup. I mean,
or even just a matchup like that in the regular season. I mean, like I'm not gonna get any sleep this season.
No,
I'm watching these damn West Coast games.
I never buy League Pass, but
you're thinking about it now.
I'm probably gonna buy League Pass this year. I mean, I got NBA TV, which is like enough for me, but like I think I'm just gonna be hooked.
Sean's gonna be like up Tuesday nights drinking, 1:30 in the morning, watching the Timberwolves versus the Warriors or something like that.
A normal Tuesday for sure.
Pelicans versus the fucking.
It just extended to 1:30 a.m.
Instead of like NBA TV, he'll be on League Pass.
Right.
So let's talk about the sleepers though in the West.
Okay.
You got the top 4 teams that we talked about, 4 or 5.
Let's put the Timberwolves on that plateau. Right, they're on the top teams. I don't think they're a sleeper.
Yeah. No.
We sleeping on. I got one.
Come on, Joel.
There's Denver.
Come on.
Come on. You're better than that, Joel. What else you got?
Better than that. Come on.
I didn't want to say the obvious. The Pelicans.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is that what you're getting at, or you're just being a dick?
No, just being a dick. But I agree with the Pelicans. Pelicans could be the sixth team in the
you want
Western
to talk about
Conference.
a shitty roster after your top stars? Go take a look at that one.
After what you just said about the Thunder, you're really gonna throw the Pelicans in there.
Cousins, Davis, and
okay,
that's the other rest of the roster.
I get that. I get that, but I'm going to take Cousins and Davis over the Clippers. I'm gonna take them over. I'm gonna take them over the Jazz. I'm gonna take them over the Nuggets.
The Jazz, yeah.
Okay, all right. So
I'm gonna take them over the Trailblazers.
No.
Yeah, that's
slow your roll. Right.
Pelicans, Trailblazers, not even close. Not even close. I'll take the Pelicans over the Trailblazers any day of the week. Except it would be nice if like they traded
one of those teams made the
big
playoffs
man
last
for a guard.
They barely made the playoffs last year.
Okay,
and they didn't make any changes.
Fair, but
none whatsoever.
Yeah, but they didn't make much changes from 2 seasons ago.
Hey, Evan Turner.
I don't know what happened. They just that wasn't even one of my strong points. I just think
that wasn't one of my points. Period.
I'm gonna say that before you mention their deep roster with Evan Turner.
No, man, I just think they got dynamic young guys.
That Nurkic.
Yeah,
I do love Nurkic.
You can't sleep on him. That was a great trade.
I do love Nurkic.
I just feel like 2 years ago they had a weaker roster, and just towards the last 25 games they just sort of barely made the playoffs. But before that, I mean, Evan Turner, of course, he went down, but that wasn't working out even before he went down.
I mean, they were under 500 like almost the entire season.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying there was a stretch where it was actually Evan Turner was down. And they're picking things back up. They just traded for I forget his name, Nurkic. And you remember he did that interview that he made.
Never forget it. Never forget it. Never forget.
That was like one of his best games.
Yeah.
And I just feel like with young talented guys like that, they're only going to go up, and they haven't made many changes. So
by the way, there's a trade that should happen between these two teams. Why wouldn't McCollum get traded for Boogie Cousins? Boom. Why wouldn't you do that?
Problem solved.
Why wouldn't you do that? Then you got Lillard, Cousins, Nurkic.
Yeah, but
what's in it for?
Who's playing the 4?
What's in it for the Pelicans?
What's in it? They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose Cousins at the end of this year, anyways.
That's gonna go really well with Anthony Davis.
Wouldn't Anthony Davis rather play with CJ McCollum than play with Boogie Cousins?
Or would he rather play with Kyrie Irving?
So him and DeMarcus Cousins gonna jump ship and go to Portland?
No, I just
set up shop in Rip City.
I just think it'd be a great trade for everybody. But I'm just saying, I don't know.
How is that a good trade for Oakland? I mean, for New Orleans,
the Pelicans, they get a dynamic score.
They get to start over for the 15th time of their franchise.
No, but then you start building something. Like you have McCollum, who signed a little longer term. You got a score in the backcourt.
Arguably top 5. What is he? Probably top 3 in most people's list.
He's leaving. There's a higher chance DeMarcus Cousins leaves New Orleans than LeBron leaves Cleveland. He's not staying in New Orleans.
Wow.
You really think he's going to re-sign in New Orleans?
If they can get their shit together, maybe.
How are they going to get their shit together?
I don't know.
All they have to do is
They have
make
no
the
chance
playoffs.
of getting their shit together.
All they really have to do is, like he says, make playoffs.
They make the playoffs. It's the first time he's ever seen playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I just feel like
Second time.
yeah.
He made the playoffs before?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
Marcus
didn't
Cousins?
win a game.
Oh, you're talking about Cousins?
No,
Oh, I
no,
thought you were talking about
Cousins.
Anthony Davis.
No,
Oh, they made it
Oh,
once,
oh,
and they got swept by the Warriors. But yeah.
No.
Oh, Cousins. Yeah,
Cousins.
I got you.
You're trying to convince Cousins to stay. So
Yeah,
if they
yeah,
make the
yeah.
playoffs.
I got you.
I think the Pelicans will make.
I think that'd be an interesting series too. The Warriors against Pelicans in the first round.
Yeah. No, I mean for
Cousins and Draymond battling
I think
down low?
for a
Well,
first round series, including the Warriors, yes, that's
it
the
would
best
be a very
matchup.
good one because you're talking strength versus weakness in that situation where
I
you got
thought-
two
I
bigs
thought he'd
underneath
be
the
a dick.
basket.
That's why I put that.
No, yeah, you got two bigs that are battling underneath. What you're telling me? Zaza is going to be able to shut down Cousins? I'm saying
Yes.
honestly, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
He'll do his shake and everything.
Freaking Zaza.
We forgot he did that.
Draymond on Davis.
Well, but David West. Come on.
So
Hey,
For people who
hey.
couldn't stand the Warriors before, I mean, like going into the offseason, how much did you hate them more because they have Swaggy Pete, man? He's going to be so obnoxious.
Oh man, he's
No,
such a shithead.
If
I like
anything,
Nick Young. See, I didn't want to call him that, but I couldn't call
Yeah,
him Nick
but
Young.
if-
I'm not
if-
calling him Swaggy Pete.
if anything, the Warriors have actually improved. Like they brought back their core,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they instead of I'm trying to think instead of
They have another shooter too.
they have Omar Caspi,
Yes.
and Nick Young.
why is people still?
Two shooters off the bench that they didn't have last
How
year.
do people still mention Omar Caspi?
You know why? He had a crazy duel against Steph Curry. If you guys haven't seen it,
yes.
look it up on YouTube.
I've seen that.
It was literally I watched this
What
live.
year was this?
And I was
was like
losing it. This was
two-
his MVP season.
Yeah, 2 seasons ago.
The second one. Curry's second MVP season.
Huh.
I'm talking about like
Back and forth.
4 in a row from each, just back and forth, back and forth.
I
back
mean,
and forth.
where did
And
Caspi
was
play
pulling
last
up
year?
from like Curry range.
Where did he play last year?
Sacked up, huh?
Sacramento.
Yeah, it was against the Kings. He's been there ever since.
How did he do last year? Why do people think he's some type of knockdown shooter? He's nothing.
He was good. He was good, but just because the Kings sucked.
He's
you
one
know,
of those.
that's why.
He's one of those solid role players that he does whatever the hell you ask him to do.
I will say if you put Omar Caspi on the Thunder, improvement. Other than that, though, I don't know.
I think it makes them even a
You know
more
what you need to
dangerous
do,
shooter,
Dutra?
shooting
you
team.
need to get into 2K and make every team the best that they could possibly like. Go through every single team and just build every roster.
Just build it through to make like the
Like
most.
every team.
No. But what would be fun for Dutra is that you keep the core and then you just
build
swap
all the-
around the other
role
guys. Yeah, the role guys.
I might have to do that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
here's a team
Sean's
for
face
you.
is lighting up.
Here's my dark
Possibilities.
horse to roll back a little bit. I think a team that's going to be a little bit better than people give them credit for this year.
Clippers.
No, not
Dallas.
them. Nope, not them either.
I gotta guess. Let's let him say it.
Phoenix.
Oh wow!
Shout out to you, Tiffany too.
I do not disagree. I do not disagree.
Devin Booker's. This is the year where he goes from being a border star to being like a big star this year. I think he'd be a stud out there.
So not.
I mean the
so
playoff.
not the 71st best player in the league.
No, top 25.
Yeah, which is a ridiculous statement from ESPN. Just ridiculous. I'm not
Sorry,
getting into
60s.
that. Not
We're
We're
getting into
not
that
going
again.
down that road.
Not going down that rabbit hole. But I agree. I think the West
Maybe
is,
not a playoff team, but
the West is so wide open. Like you saying any team that has a shot at the playoffs in the West, you can't definitively right now say, no, that team's out of it. I mean, even Sacramento could make the 8th spot.
they're better than they were.
They're
no
better
doubt.
than they were last year.
I mean, 6 through 8's wide open out there.
I mean, who they got? Zebo and who else?
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter?
Yep. Good old Vince.
Air Canada.
Someone else too, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, they got like
Buddy Hield.
3 first rounders from the draft.
Oh, De'Aaron Fox. I like De'Aaron
Yeah.
Fox.
Yeah, he's good.
Buddy
Yeah.
Hield, your boy Buddy.
Buddy, I don't really
Who's the other
like
first
him that
rounder they
much
got?
after we didn't draft him.
They got Fox and someone else. Didn't they trade back and grab another pick? Or they?
Yeah, they got because they had 2 and then they got a third because of a
They got Tyreek
Trade.
Evans out there too.
Tyreek Evans. Shout out to Stu. Happy 30th birthday, Stu. He's got a Tyreek Evans autographed basketball courtesy of me. He's just waiting for him to get back to his rookie
Finally
of the
gave it
year
to him.
status, dude. Just been waiting.
Yeah, no, I agree. The 6 through 8, you're right. Could anybody? It's a toss up between like the 5 teams or 6 teams we mentioned.
I mean, there's only 14 teams in each conference, so it's like
I mean, it was like that last year, wasn't it? Like between 5 through like 10, like there was only like 2 or 3 games that separated each other.
George
A
Hill
bunch
went
of
out
luck.
there.
Ah, that's right. George Hill
went out.
Jorge Hill.
I never heard that. I gotta start calling him Jorge Hill.
What's Hill in Spanish? I think
Jorge Hill.
These are the rooks. De'Aaron Fox,
Oh yeah, Justin Jackson.
Justin Jackson. That's what
Harry Giles might have been the one I was
Remember
thinking
when
of.
Giles was supposed to be like number 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Well,
You were all over Harry
then they
Giles.
Find out that he had no knees.
Yeah.
Whoops.
All right,
should have need those.
All right, so let's get into Celtics media day real quick before we get into Joel's in case you missed it. Celtics were introduced to the media, of course. Kyrie Irving had to get those LeBron questions. Mm-hmm. LeBron had to get the Kyrie Irving questions. Before we talk about what Irving had to say, because obviously there's nothing really concrete in those quotes.
Did you ask him the Stevie Wonder question or no?
Yes, I did. No,
okay. Oh, you didn't?
No. Why would I
What
ask
the
him
hell, man? Why do we even talk about things if you're not going to do it?
Because I
Jesus.
completely had no intention of doing that.
The fuck?
Before we talk about whatever Kyrie was trying to say or whatever the way he answers questions is not even worth discussing sometimes. Let's talk about what LeBron had to say, because this is the most, I don't know, open I've seen LeBron in terms of like directly answering your question and then giving you some more insight into what he thinks. Obviously, he got asked about what he had to say about Trump on Twitter. But when he was asked about Kyrie Irving, I mean, for him to say that, I did this for him and I did that and I showed him how to be a leader and I gave him these secrets and now those secrets are going to Boston. What do you guys make of that? Is LeBron trying to sort of like say like, hey, I'm not the bad guy in this, even though it's easy to say like, oh, well, Kyrie couldn't play with LeBron. That's why he wanted out. It was almost like he was on the defensive side of things, whereas Kyrie was sort of just like, no, this move was about me. It had nothing to do with LeBron. And LeBron's sitting there saying like, oh, well, I just wish there was something, maybe I had something else I could have done to prevent that. It was almost as if he's like, I wish he didn't leave, but he did what he had to do, which I was sort of surprised to hear that from LeBron.
It's just LeBron trying to cover all his bases, man. He doesn't want to go out there. He doesn't know the health of Isaiah Thomas. He doesn't want to be the guy that they look at and say this year was wasted because Kyrie couldn't play with LeBron and it was LeBron's fault. LeBron was too much of a dickhead, because that's how it looks right now. You know what I mean? So now he's just covering his bases. Saying, I did everything for him. But, like, seriously, you just had to play next to him, LeBron. You didn't have to. If you did all these things, you didn't have to take him under your wing. Like, he's already a good player. Like,
the kid.
The kid, right.
Say Irving, the kid.
Yeah, which is, like, if you... I don't know. LeBron's got a lot of issues, and I think Kyrie would just want to get away from it. That's basically what it comes down to.
Joel?
I mean, we've talked about this at length, about how people's faults, but I mean
overall I felt like he was in rare form. He was willing to answer any question about anything, which you're probably not going to get for the rest of the season
ever again.
But I don't know about ever again, but this season, because he's like, after I talk about it, don't ask me the same question again.
Don't ask me.
I caught it. He said, don't ask me anymore. Don't ask me anymore. He corrected himself to uncorrect himself, which is the biggest LeBron James thing to do. But the thing I thought was cool about it, which is hard for me to say because I hate LeBron James with every part of my body.
Yeah, you made that clear last episode.
We get
it. He was open, which was cool. Like him just saying, I mean, he still had to do it in a LeBron way of saying like, I know what you guys want to ask me. You want to ask me this, and this. We'll start on a topic. You're not going to end on a topic. I'm not going back to a topic once we get off the topic. And I was like, what? Why do you have to do it that way? But then he actually was, I mean, it's very hard for me to side with LeBron, but I mean, me and him feel the same exact way about Donald Trump, man. It's like, I was sitting there like, yeah, LeBron. Yeah, you're right. And I was like, what the fuck? What am I doing? Man, I was like, I got to go get a Make America Great hat again now because like, now LeBron, just to go against LeBron. Like, what am I supposed to do? Change all my political views? Thanks, LeBron.
Well, I mean, LeBron is the face of the league, and someone had to say something. Of course, LeBron had no problem saying it, and it was funny because for him to defend the Warriors, a team that just beat him in the NBA Finals, you got to give him his props for that. I mean, LeBron obviously is a competitor. He's very, I don't know. Is stubborn a fair word to say? I mean, for him to give props to the championship team and then defend what Curry did, you know what I mean?
I mean, let's be honest.
That was a little more than he needed to do,
Let's be honest. There hasn't been the face of the league. The face of the NBA has not taken a political stance since
Ever.
Bill Russell.
Oh, okay, yeah. Bill
Right?
Russell, yeah.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
Who on Twitter took a knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if there's a more influential figure.
Don't make that joke, Joe. I know what you know. He's gonna make an old joke.
No,
He's gonna make an old man joke.
I was just.
I thought the same thing.
No, I was thinking
I
about
thought the same thing. I was like,
thinking-
how the hell he's gonna get up from that?
No, I didn't say that. I wasn't thinking that. I was just thinking that the fact that
How long did it take him to post with a space?
LeBron called the president of the United States a bum.
Right.
Like, just think about that for a
Right.
second. He called him a bum. All right.
Like not like
Not in a playful way.
not like, you know who I call a bum? Like if my postman like delivers my mail to the wrong mailbox. I'm like, what a bum. Like it's the postman. You know what I mean? No offense to no postmans out there. Don't want to get hate mail.
Oh, Jesus.
But but I'm just saying, like, if you are able to on a public stage call the president a bum, and nobody is like,
while defending,
you're out of line, LeBron. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, all right, that sort of makes sense. Yeah, it's like, who the fuck is our president? Why is he our president?
But while defending, like Sway said, while defending Steph Curry, like you bum, he wasn't going anyways. Like,
I don't.
Who cares if you took back your invitation?
Like you almost expect Durant to take that role. You know?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Now LeBron.
Yeah. You know, come defend your teammate, you know? But no, LeBron steps in. You know, I give him props for that.
I got to give him props too.
Zach, what do you think? You're a little quiet over there.
Yeah, no, I for the first time, well, I don't even know. With LeBron, it's like, do you really trust what comes out of his mouth? I mean, I feel like half his lip service.
Is there an agenda behind it? Is that what you mean? Or?
Agenda, or is it just, I mean, I've never looked at him as genuine. Like, he says stuff to be able to build his brand.
No.
I agree.
Like, how much can you actually, put stock in it? But if that's what he actually believes, then, more power to him. I actually, I agreed with quite a bit of what he had to say. But I also think it's the maturation of LeBron, too. I mean, this is a much more, over the last couple of years, since he left Miami, he's kind of been a different guy. He's had a different approach with the media. He seems, I mean, at least from my perspective, he seems to be a little bit more of a leader. He seems as if he has grown up a little bit. So
I think while other athletes, don't want to bring attention to themselves on like political topics, LeBron's like, no, he's a bum. Like I don't care. I'll defend it.
Yeah, but it's not. It is the ultimate narcissist who. It doesn't matter if it's political or otherwise. Yeah. Like he just wants the limelight on him.
And to talk about,
let's give it a couple months though. Let's see if he's still ringing the same tune in a couple months. If he really believes it.
But to talk about the state of Ohio,
right?
Like,
well,
you guys made a mistake.
The best question was when they were like, "So what would you say to all those Cleveland Cavalier fans out there who voted for Donald Trump?" And he just.
He's like, it's okay.
He was like, would you tell him you were wrong? And he just sat there for like 10 seconds, just like.
But he still was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I make mistakes.
What did he relate it to? He related it to
like when I give my daughter some Skittles.
So Skittles,
late at night. I'm like, damn, now she'll be up all night. Shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have done that.
People make mistakes. And
good analogy.
Good analogy. And he admitted, like, I've made mistakes too. So. I don't know. I felt like he was in rare form. I don't know if we'll ever see that again, at least this season.
Well, I hope we do. I mean,
but he's going to get positive reviews because
you
of that.
Can't.
People like what he did. Right. So
by the way, you can't just say that, take credit, and then not do anything with it. So he better, like for me to start respecting LeBron James, he better now take the next steps and now be this voice, now be this actor and not actor, but like activist and somebody that's leading change. If he wants to take that role, please take it because he's one of the most influential people in the United States in the world.
That's when it becomes valuable, when he actually creates something.
But if he's just
pushes this movement forward.
But one thing, if he's just going to fall into this trap of, hey, I'm going to call Donald Trump a bum and see what he says back, and then he gets in. That's going to do nothing. Like he has to actually go out there and show.
If he does the Colin Kaepernick, that's kind of useless.
Right. It just something needs to come of it. And LeBron, now, if you want to take that role, great. I'll respect you for it, but you better fucking take it with everything you got.
So meanwhile, in Canton, Kyrie Irving. So this is how Kyrie Irving starts a press conference. Yeah, it was in Canton.
Why in Canton?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
Where's Canton? I mean, Canton's right up the street, but like, what was in Canton?
We were like in a break room for some office. It was
for media day.
It was different. Yeah, it was media day.
The fuck wasn't it in Waltham?
The place was called a High Output Inc.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I thought.
Yeah, look it up. That's where it was. So before the very first question Kyrie gets is this the most important year for you?
Did you ask that question?
No. That's a terrible question. Well, I don't know who asked that. Probably doesn't listen to this podcast anyways.
Way to go.
And he goes, in classic Kyrie Irving form, goes, most important. Every year of my life is very important, you know? Every year on this world.
I love Kyrie.
To spend my life. I literally just like looked around, looked at the rest of the media members. I'm like, this is going to be all year long when you ask this guy a question.
That's what I said last episode.
All year long.
He's going to give the fucking Boston media fits this year.
Yep, I'm going to love it too. And that's why you got to come correct with your questions, Sway. You just got to be like...
Even if you do come correct, he's still going to answer in Kyrie form.
Like, figure it out. Like, feel him out, and then all of a sudden is... Ask a question you can't like skate around, but like a weird question.
I brought up the LeBron thing. I read some quotes from what he said at Media Day, and of course he just went around it and said like, yeah, well, you know, that guy does this, that guy. I'm like, why can't you two just say each other's names? But anyways,
well, he did.
And then
LeBron said Kyrie
like you're a
couple times. Yeah, I know.
More the kid, but
I know he said more the kid, but it's just like, you know, it's just so obvious that they have a problem with each other, which is fine. Okay, you don't want to talk about it in public. Good for you. You know, I just think it's so obvious. Obviously, we're going to move on from this, especially after the very first game of the season. We're going to forget about it for a little bit. We'll see how they interact. You know, the media is going to follow them. You know, it was going to be a split screen between. It's just going to be like when Kobe and Shaq first played against each other. Split screen. Let's see how they greet each other on the floor.
They're both going to say, actually, between us.
Right. And then there's going to be a couple quotes after the game, and then it's going to be over with, and then both sides can move on.
I'm hoping Kyrie sack taps him. That's my goal.
So then, after my question,
what are you, 12?
Kyrie.
Jeff Goodman just like drills him about it.
Do you have any plans of sack tapping LeBron James at half court?
Jeff Goodman.
No.
Wink, wink.
Sack tapping. What is sack tapping? Maybe I won't tap a sack.
Every sack tap to me
what
is the most important.
What is sack tapping when you take a look at it from another perspective?
From LeBron's perspective, he's getting smacked.
I live in reality.
I know.
You sack tap somebody in reality? No. So of course, what the heck is this guy's name? Jeff Goodman.
Jeff Goodman.
Okay. Jeff Goodman. Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
so
yeah.
All right. So Jeff Goodman, of course, has a follow up and says, you know, LeBron was also talking about how if there's anything he could have done to change things to make you stay, what do you have to say about that? Crickets. And then he asked him to actually repeat the question. Repeats the question. Kyrie goes, that's a conversation between LeBron and I. Jeff digs some more, and he just goes, look, that's a question. That's a conversation for us two, between two men, and that's not for you guys to know about it. And that was pretty much it from Kyrie.
Well, they messed up because what you should have said as a follow-up question is, so if you had to rank your years of life...
No, you don't want to go down that road. Then he's going to be like, well, you know, my 8th birthday, you know, my dad did this, and I'll never forget that because, you know...
That's what I mean.
Like, you don't even want to go down that road with him.
Basketball player, my dad.
Yeah.
I love it. I love Kyrie. I love everything about Kyrie.
I mean, hey, I don't hate it, but I just
love that he's weird as fuck.
I just think it's so funny that, you know, the Boston media is just, they haven't had someone like this before.
Nope.
Let's wrap this up with, in case you missed it. This episode of the Causeway Street Podcast is, of course, brought to you by FanDuel. If you haven't already, head over to FanDuel.com/Causeway, where you can sign up for fantasy football this upcoming weekend. Sean, I started off so well, and then that needle just dramatically went back and back and back as the games kept going on throughout Sunday. And I almost, if the games had stopped around, I don't know, right before the 4:00 slated games, I mean, I was up there, man. My points was right there in that top percentile. But then the 4:00 games kicked off, and it was just all downhill from there.
Well, that's because you're not very good at fantasy.
Oh, really? So how did you do, Sean?
Well, last week, not that good. First 2 weeks, though, I won some dough. I won like I think upwards of $40 I took out of just playing fantasy football. Also, I'm cheap, bad. So I didn't really put a lot of money in. But if this week I'm investing.
Now you got $40.
Now I got $40 to spend. About to win, but I think there's like $1 million contest
put the
and everything.
40 in the,
just put it on the table.
Put it on red.
Yeah, bang.
So guys, if you want to be like Sean and get those $40, you have to go over to FanDuel.com/Causeway. Get yourself signed up for fantasy football.
Making it rain.
The easiest way to win money for fantasy football is, of course, with FanDuel. So, guys, don't forget, head over to FanDuel.com/Causeway. entry is what? As low as $1.
Yeah, I mean, I think you get a deposit like $10, but that's
So
it.
you don't have to be crazy like Sean and put 40 down. Just get in there, sign up, and win some easy cash.
In case you missed it.
In case you missed it, speaking of LeBron James, after quite the week he's had
LeBron James
with his Trump comments and talking about he spoke to Kyrie before he was traded.
Sack tabs.
He tweaked his ankle on Wednesday during practice. Missed Thursday's practice, and the X-rays came back negative. It's listed as day-to-day. So
good.
Fake news.
Yeah, no comment.
No comment. Okay.
Come on, break. Give me something better.
All right.
Could this be the year we see a slight decline in LeBron James? Is this it? 33?
No.
When was
33? What? He's going to turn 34, right?
No, he's going to turn 33.
He's going to turn 33? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, he'll turn 33
He's a Christmas baby.
I never mind. I forget it.
How old was Kobe when he had his first breakdown? That was like 34, 35?
Yes.
Well, what do you mean by first breakdown?
Well,
when he had his first major
let me clarify.
injury, yeah.
Encore breakdown.
Physical breakdown.
In case you missed it, the NBA will pass legislations on draft lottery reform and resting healthy players. The NBA Board of Governors voted.
Board of Governors.
The draft lottery reform passed 28 to 1 to 1. With OKC voting, the only team voting against it, and Dallas, who voted to keep it the way it is. So, according to league sources, the NBA only needed 23 out of the 30 teams to pass the legislation, and the draft lottery reform will go into effect 2019.
That's good for the Celtics. I think we were all in agreement. It's great for the Celtics right after they cashed in on their.
Well, if it changed this year and you had the LA pick that happened to be in the top 3,
I keep forgetting they still have the LA pick. There we go. That's great.
Or Sacto in that's 2019.
Well, won't it help?
Actually, so that will technically
won't it help if it's a Sacramento pick? I mean, if Sacramento's like a top, whatever 12 pick, that helps them. Helps the Celtics.
Or if they're bottom 3 teams in the league.
That's true.
Well, it's a good thing you brought up.
What's it?
The bottom 3 worst teams in the league. Because
30%?
According to this new reform that will take place in 2019, 3 teams with the worst records will now share a 14% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick.
There you go.
So, there's that.
That's a game changer.
Is it though?
Hey.
I mean, I guess it's still. I mean, really, if you're a bottom 3 team,
this is the guy who's all about averages over here. You know,
right? Averages are averages
because they're averages. Yes,
right. I love every time we bring this up. It happens to be on the show.
I was thinking about that the other day. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day. I almost said it at work, and then I realized, just let that one go, man. Just let that one go.
Like, someone was like, "Did I hear you say that on the podcast one time?
Did you?
Did you just quote yourself on the podcast?
Did you just say that?
What'd you say your degree's in?
Are you high?
You are high. Obviously, the point of this change is to avoid teams that want to tank on purpose, like Philadelphia.
Right after the 76ers rebuilt their franchise in 5 years from just tanking.
Well, we shall see if that came to fruition.
Markelle Fultz, baby.
They'll be the last of a dying breed.
Yeah.
For the resting legislation, Silver wants to have the ability for teams to not rest healthy players, including players outside of the unusual circumstances in a single game, plus have healthy players for nationally televised games on ESPN, ABC, and TNT. The NBA this year limited back-to-back games during the schedule so that games that are nationally televised, players wouldn't sit.
So now they're just going to fake an injury report.
Well, for high-profile games, if teams do sit high-profile players, he can find them. He can find a team. Pretty much, that's what it is. That's what it boils down to.
I don't agree with that. Like, why is he able to dictate whether you're
how you regulate your team?
Right.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, I get it.
He's trying to avoid the
dollars.
He's
trying
to avoid the national televised games because how many games last year, especially after the new year, like after Super Bowl, for example. Teams were resting their players.
And let's be honest.
All right, so
and on ABC, who wants to watch the Warriors against the Spurs and no All-Stars are playing in that?
Okay, so if I'm Popovich or Steve Kerr, my star's going to play first 5 minutes, I'm pulling them, you're not going to see them for the rest of the game. I mean, you can't find them for that, right?
No, you can't, but I mean, here's the thing. It's like the players can't have it both ways, and the coaches can't have it both ways. I mean, if the players are going to get paid all this money because of the TV contracts, well, you play on the friggin' networks that are paying your contracts. Like
the fan aspect of it too.
Well, but I'm just saying, even from a business side of things, the whole reason why everybody's making $30 million a year is because these TV stations,
TV deals.
The TV deals are cranking it through the roof. So don't rest on an ABC game. Rest
regionally televised.
Yeah. And it's only hurting the sport too. So that's why I think Adam Silver is looking at it and saying, okay, we get this marquee matchup that, yes, the TV network's paying a lot of money, but that's exposure. That's going to get us out on national TV. And then you don't play Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, friggin' Kawhi Leonard, right? They didn't play anybody that game.
Well, that used to be the case when they used to be the case against teams like the Kings. Yeah, you rest against those teams.
Sure.
And that would be the case, the last couple of weeks of the season. You just dealt with it. But now because of the grueling schedule, last year because of the grueling schedule, more teams are doing it more often. But now that schedule is, they separated the games a bit now, so they don't have that same excuse that they used to.
You're not going to see 5 games in 7 nights or 7 games in 9 nights. You're not going to see those.
Right. So then that changes things.
I don't know. We got to look forward to your.
Oh, it's been a while. When you look ahead. Can't wait.
No, they're going 3-0 this week.
Listen, if I knew the preseason schedule, I'd do it fucking now.
Actually, because of this week's schedule, they'll go 2-0 because that third game is on a Sunday. So when it's on a Monday or a Sunday, that's how it's going to dictate.
Yeah, it's going to mess me up this week. Wait, so that means I'm going to have more time to look ahead, but less content in the time to look ahead. I don't know if I like that.
Yes, Sean looking ahead would be in 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah, maybe I do.
Sean got the Warriors, the Timberwolves, and the Lakers. Oh, 3-0. Yeah. You think they're going to lose against the Lakers? No, man, they're playing the Warriors, and then they're playing the freaking Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they're going to drop one of those. I don't know. One of them. I'm thinking they're going to drop one of them.
3-0.
You'd always pick the worst team out of the 3 and be like, you think they're going to lose to that team? I'm like, no, the other 2 teams, man. I think they might lose to one of those teams.
Golden State's won 35 in a row. Come on, man.
Guys, here it is.
That's the night.
Law of
where it
averages.
gets snapped.
Here's the time to look ahead to. Time to look ahead. Just keep it on your radar. It's coming.
It's coming soon.
In case you missed it, Sway brought up Carmelo Anthony talking about the possible Knicks to the Cavaliers trade. But he also brought up the possible Houston trade that didn't go through at the last minute.
His other buddy, Chris Paul.
Other buddy, exactly. During media day, though, it sounded like he was looking forward to actually going to Houston.
He should have.
But reports have been out there for the last couple of weeks that Houston just didn't want to give up Eric Gordon or Trevor Ariza. They just kept pushing Ryan Anderson, and I don't know why no one wants Ryan Anderson.
I mean, if I'm the Knicks,
contract,
I guess contracts there, contracts.
That's the contract.
Yeah, I mean, Enes Kanter, Ryan Anderson, who the fuck cares, right?
Yeah, he says that pretty much since July.
It's been Ryan Anderson.
Yeah, no, the team that he thought he was going to was Houston. He was prepared to go to Houston, and then a week before the trade to OKC, the New York GM asked him, "Would you want to widen your list a little bit on destinations?
Now I will.
Can we add OKC to the list?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, OKC, fine. Add him to the list." Not thinking it was going to happen, but got the deal done within days, and no first round draft picks involved.
No, which is crazy.
I don't understand. How does OKC?
Here's my theory behind it.
And Minnesota pull that off with no first round draft picks involved.
My theory is that the Knicks knew they had to trade Carmelo because Lala is banging Tommy now. Had to get him out of New York City.
And for guys who don't know, he's talking about Tommy Egan. He's a fictional character.
The hit TV show
Power series.
And Lala, that's not even her name on the show.
Catch it on Stars.
So just disregard that comment.
Everyone's like, "Oh my God, who's Tommy?
Wait, Tommy?
Tommy who?"
People are Googling Tommy right now.
Right?
If you don't know who Tommy is,
Tommy/Knicks. Who's that?
Come on.
Tommy.
So in order for the trade to go down with OKC, Melo, he waived his $8 million trade kicker, and that's that. The rest is fucking history for.
And now
OKC.
Houston
OKC
got
going all
better.
in.
Houston got better because of the Carmelo Anthony trade. Just
but
science,
if he had gone to Houston, no, you don't feel the same way.
Well, it depends. If they were able to just give up Ryan Anderson for him, then I think no, because they need a wing, right?
Yeah.
So I think that would have helped Houston out a lot. You get a scorer if you can keep Eric Gordon. Now you got Eric Gordon still coming off your bench as scoring. You have your lineup of Nene, Capella.
6 man of the year, wasn't he?
Was he?
I think he was.
Who?
Eric Gordon?
Or was it Lou Williams?
No, it was Lou Williams. He was second. He finished second.
Was it Lou Williams?
Yeah, Lou Williams.
It's always freaking
He was
Lou
sixth man
Williams.
for like 2 teams last year.
Yeah, he took over for Jamal Crawford to win that every year now.
Yeah, he's a new guy, the new six-man guy.
So I'm just saying the Rockets look good. I like the way the Rockets look, and I think if they were able to pull that off with just Ryan Anderson and whoever, then great. But they didn't, so still got better.
All right. This, in case you missed it, is brought to you by the CLNS mobile app. Make sure you download that to your iPhone or your Android for the best on online sports coverage. You can also listen to us, Causeway Street, on there as well.
The jingle's done to us. A paycheck, man.
Oh, okay, Nick. We're talking to you out there. If you're listening.
This type of talent doesn't go on pay.
And as always, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Causeway Street for all your up-to-date coverage on the Celtics. And Zach, where can they follow you on the interwebs?
At OTW Sports Radio.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well,
It's like a 90s FM DJ.
Nice.
we'll see you all next week.
You heard it here first.
When are we going to go on your show?
When my show's
the wagon.
actually happening. It's been
Oh, wait. Real quick. Sorry. Eric Gordon did win 6-man.
Ah.
So relax, you guys screaming at our podcast right now. You guys don't even know. It wasn't Lou Williams.
idiots.
Sorry, I think I missed that part of the
What
NBA
year-
awards.
what
Because
year are we
Lou
in?
Williams and Eric Gordon played together this year.
Yeah,
So-
that's what it
so
was.
Eric Gordon
That's
was
what it
getting
was.
more burn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Zach, continue.
So yeah. Whenever we get back on air, unfortunately, it's been a
little hiatus.
bigger hiatus, but yeah, we're trying to figure things out. Got some open roster spots for anyone who wants.
Oh, speaking of roster spots, we have some roster spots
Why don't you guys get it together over there?
We have some roster spots available for any experienced writers out there.
Can you write?
Can
Yes.
you write?
Do you like the NBA?
You like the Celtics, the NBA? Come on over. Send us a DM on Twitter at Causeway Street.
They go
For
down
serious,
in the
but
DM.
for real though, serious
Slide
inquiries.
into our DM.
Yeah, slide into our DM.
I'll be waiting there
No,
for
yeah,
you.
right. No crazy pics out there, right? We don't need none of that.
Put that.
You could take a picture with what you wrote.
Yes.
and send that.
Please do.
No,
Do you remember that time that we put the post to have people send in samples and someone
yeah.
Do I write a
I
sample?
hope that guy freaking still listens. He wrote a sample about Rondo and Rondo wasn't capitalized. It was the worst grammatical piece put together. And needless to say, we didn't get back to him. So guys, please,
No, that's okay.
please
No.
proofread your stuff. Before
Hey,
you
if
send
you're
it.
out there-
Don't lie to the people. We have him right here, Zach.
No, this was
Zach has improved just greatly since
Dramatically.
I was like, this
Went
guy.
back to school, got his GED.
This guy put no effort into this.
Been writing for the guys ever since.
It's like
Commercial?
It's like the commercial with the chef college on morning.
Oh yeah.
Do it now.
we need to just film a commercial like that, man. That's what we need to do.
We're waiting.
We're waiting.
No, you're not going to do anything else. Just
You're
get off the couch.
Are you still sitting there?
Get off the couch. Get your butt in gear.
University of
And
Phoenix. Send
us a sample.
All right, we're making
of your writing.
we're making a Causeway Street commercial. That's it. We're doing it.
You keep saying you're gonna do it. Well, you keep saying you're gonna do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. No, why don't you do it right now? All right, send in your sample.
We just
Today, right now.
do
it.
It's easy, man.
Do it. I know, right? He gets so mad at you. It's easy, man.
Walks away from the camera.
And then he comes back. Hey, what'd I just say? You're like, shit. You change the shadow. What, you trying to avoid me now?
knocking at your window.
Get
your ass up.
You're still sitting there.
I know where you live.
You better hop on the tee right now. I know where you live.
I'm coming down.
All right, before we get out of here, Sean, how are we gonna set up this this challenge, this Twitter challenge between you and what we call him,
right.
Silverman,
You called out.
Silver Boy.
Someone called you out to play 1-on-1, right?
Listen, I'm ready.
Let's fill
I'm
in Zach
ready.
what happened this
I don't
past
know
week.
about this.
Let's
All
fill
right.
in Zach and the rest of the listeners
All right,
out there
so-
if you don't follow us closely on Twitter.
So first off, it was a dumb thing for that guy to get painted silver to wear the Celtics jerseys. Like, what the fuck is that? Come on.
I mean, it would have.
They're not a statue. It's stupid. You don't need a live person there. Just put on a mannequin. That's why mannequins exist.
Oh, okay.
So humans don't have to be painted as mannequins.
Was that one of the guys that was painted silver?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Are you serious?
No, I didn't
know
that.
that?
I didn't know that.
That was the whole point. So
I thought he was just like.
No, I made
Sean was
fun of this dude.
making fun of his form.
His form was awful, and he did like the slow motion
So
jumper.
Zach, the jersey was the Nike event where they unveiled the new jerseys.
Yeah.
There's this guy, you know, like those guys who like pretend like they're robots that you see like in New York City,
The
whatever.
statue people.
like those statue people.
They're all painted like in one color.
Or like, best example, if you've ever seen Euro Trip, you know that weird guy, it's like one of those dudes, and he's wearing the uniform, and he, well, not that guy, but yeah, that movie. And he's wearing the uniform, and he's pretending to shoot a basketball, and like the form didn't look great, to say the least. So Sean called him out on
awful.
it, and the guy's like, he gets back at Sean. He's like, "Hey, you know what? If you want to see the form better, how about we go to a basketball court and have a 1-on-1?"
So it's on.
So
then I've been
Sean's
going
like,
back
let's
and
do
forth
it.
with
Tell
this
me
dude
when.
all day. Like literally, I was just dying fucking laughing because I realized I'm challenging a statue to a 1-on-1 game.
This was over Twitter, the whole thing.
Over
Yeah, the
Twitter.
whole
It's all
thing is
on
on
Twitter,
Twitter.
man.
Does
You
he
wanna
know
check
that
it
you're
out?
6'8"?
He's a live statue.
No, I mean, he probably saw my picture on Twitter and was like, I could fucking dunk on this dude. I think that's what he said.
That's what he said. He said it's been a couple of years I've dunked on someone.
Listen.
Yeah, Sean, you're holding up a
on-
freaking bass and you're fishing in your Twitter picture.
Hey.
He probably doesn't think that you're great on the
cheesiest
basketball
smile
court.
ever. You're like, hey.
All I know is get me in the court with this dude
He probably doesn't think you
any day. I'll put money on it. I'll beat this
He saw
dude.
your
I'll
face.
beat this dude.
He doesn't think your basketball
1000%.
skills are up to
He
par.
saw your face. He was like, excuse me.
1000% I'm gonna beat this.
He's like,
dude.
Charlie Moore's challenging me right now. All right,
Here's
Let's
my
do
only
it.
condition. Here's my fucking Charlie boy. Hey, after
Let's
this
go.
we're gonna go to
After
this we're gonna go to my house. We'll grill up some steak. All right, smoke some stogies, drink some beers. How about that? Film it all. I'm the mad fisherman. Trying to play some basketball.
He's like, are we gonna be on Nessun?
He's like, first the Celtics picked me as their statue. Now I'm on the Mad Fisherman.
He's like, so I get to dunk on you and then eat some fish afterwards. All right, let's do it.
He's
Let's do
like,
it.
sign me up.
We're just sitting on a boat after he's still in his silver fucking body paint. Like, you're just fucking fishing, dude. Like, yeah.
You can use him as a lure.
The next scene, Sean's grilling salmon. Like, man, you know, that game got away from me, man. You know, 11-2, man. You went on a run there.
Body paint starting to wear off, just like sweat. So
He's like, I was up to nothing. I thought I had it.
Looks like
Yo, he's got to wear the paint.
Oh,
He's
that's
gotta
a
wear the
one
paint.
condition. I'm not playing this dude.
Well,
I'm not playing this dude 1-on-1 unless he's in body paint.
Didn't Nick say he was gonna officiate?
Nick says he's gonna officiate. We're gonna
or do commentary. One of the two.
Did Nick go do
I think he said
commentary?
commentary.
Whatever. We can make this a thing.
I'll do the post game interview.
We can make this a
Yo,
thing.
let's do it. Zach could be sideline. Joel and I would do color and play-by-play.
I'm
Oh,
saying.
no. Nick would do play-by-play with color. With Joel could do color. Well, what the heck am I going to do?
All I'm saying.
I'll just talk trash on the sideline.
I'll be
You'll be
the
the one
Jeff.
fan.
I'll be the
You'll
Jeff
be,
Van Gundy.
Yeah, I'll hold a Causeway sign up.
I'll be Jeff Van Gundy. You could be Mark Jackson.
Go, Sean.
And
Oh,
Nick can be Mike Green.
The third guy got
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Pick a court. Bring your silver body paint.
We got to hurry up before it
Fucking
starts
do it.
getting cold out.
Let's
too.
do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm in.
Oh, it's on.
I'm on, dude. Now it's my fucking fall weather too, man.
All right,
I'll fucking
we're
be
gonna-
thriving out
We're
there.
going to isolate this part. Let's do it. Record it. Throw it up on YouTube. It's going to be fun.
And that is it for.
In case you missed it.
Oh, it's on. It's on. I did not realize that
No,
that
I got
dude.
serious on
No, I didn't
Twitter.
realize that dude was one of the. I thought he was just like defending.
No,
like,
he
saying
was
that,
he was
like,
the guy.
Well, first off, his boy came out and was like, "Oh, see," he was like, "Yo, but wait till you see him on the court, though." And I was like, "Dude, I'm not gonna be able to miss this dude on the court. He's wearing silver body paint, dude. How's he'll see him fucking flopping around like a fucking Tin Man?"
But if that two balls up on you, looking like a Tin Man, it's going to be the funniest
It's gonna
thing,
be
man.
no. I mean, seriously though, you don't dunk on somebody in 1-on-1 unless you're fucking LeBron James. That guy needs to fucking get a fucking clue. Maybe you'll dunk, but you're not gonna dunk on me, dude. I'm not gonna stand and be like, hey, yeah.
Let me stand underneath this
Come on, let me go to the
basket.
basket. You
This
get home run and
conveniently plays
start. I'm just gonna try to
basketball.
block you.
He's like, right here.
The
Want me to stand
fuck,
right here? I'll
get
stand
the
right here. I'll
fuck
stand right
out of here. I haven't dunked on no one in a while. You never dunked on anyone
Do you want my hands up or not?
that didn't let you dunk on them. Because guess
never-
what?
you never know,
You're
Sean.
a fucking statue.
You never know,
You're
man.
not in the NBA.
If you miss a jump shot, he goes to clear it. comes back in transition and just takes off. You never know.
There's no way.
You taking that charge, bro?
Oh, I will take a fucking charge. And you know what?
You gonna pull off a Jason Kidd and just run in front of him?
I seriously
take a charge in a one-on-one.
Seriously, it could get physical on the court if it happens. I'm down to take it to whatever level I need to in this one-on-one game. I'm not even joking. I will body the fuck up. I'll go after the knees.
Oh, God.
I will not lose this game. I'm a very competitive person. I will not lose this game. Son.
Wow. This is great. Well, that concludes a great episode of the Causeway Street Podcast. So next episode we'll talk about Eastern Conference, Celtics preseason.
Yeah,
we'll see if we can get that game in between now and then.
We got a lot for next week, to say the least. We got the our first look at the Celtics team. The first look at the Celtics team. We got the results for this one-on-one. Hopefully.
And Zach, you're gonna do the interview afterwards, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Nice game interview.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Oh man, I can't wait. All right, let's get at it.
All right. Bring your green hat.
Until next time, peace.
Well, I don't think about some platform that I have. I'm an individual. I live in this country. I have a right to say and think what I want. It's got nothing to do with my position. If it helps somebody else think one way or the other about something, great. But the discussion has to take place. Obviously, race is the elephant in the room, and we all understand that. Unless it is talked about constantly, it's not going to get better. People get bored. Oh, is it that again? They pull in the race card again. Why do we have to talk about that? Well, because it's uncomfortable. And there has to be an uncomfortable element in the discourse for anything to change. Whether it's the LGBT movement or, women's suffrage, race, it doesn't matter. People have to be made to feel uncomfortable, and especially white people, because we're comfortable. We still have no clue of what being born white means.